The old graveyard was his haven. It was a place where the living rarely ventured, a sanctuary of silence and solitude. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves, and the fog that rolled in every evening added an ethereal quality to the place. For most, it was a realm of fear and unease, but for Kai, it was a refuge. A young man named Kai walked among the weathered stones. He wasn't afraid. Each gravestone told a story, each name etched in stone a testament to a life once lived. Kai felt a deep connection to these stories, to the lives that had come and gone. He often wondered about the people behind the names, their dreams, their regrets, their final moments. The whispers brought him comfort, not fear. They were like old friends, familiar and reassuring. The voices were a constant presence, a gentle murmur that filled the silence of the graveyard. They spoke to him in hushed tones, sharing their secrets, their fears, their hopes. Kai found solace in their words, a sense of belonging that he had never felt among the living. From a young age, Kai possessed an uncanny ability. He could hear the whispers of the dead, a gift that had both fascinated and frightened him. As a child, he had often been found talking to himself, or so it seemed to others. But Kai knew he was not alone. The voices were always there, guiding him, comforting him, teaching him about a world beyond the living. He could speak with the dead. It was a gift that set him apart, a gift that made him special. The spirits were drawn to him, seeking him out, eager to share their stories. Kai listened with an open heart, offering them the understanding and compassion they craved. He became their confidant, their friend, their bridge to the world of the living. Their voices were soft murmurs on the wind. They came to him in the stillness of the night, carried on the breeze that rustled the leaves and stirred the grass. The whispers were like a gentle caress, a reminder that he was never truly alone. They spoke of love and loss, of joy and sorrow, of dreams unfulfilled and promises broken. Sometimes they were pleas for understanding. The spirits longed to be heard, to be acknowledged, to be remembered. They reached out to Kai, their voices filled with longing and desperation. They wanted to share their stories, to find closure, to make peace with their past. Kai listened with empathy, offering them the solace they sought. At times, they were warnings. The spirits had seen much in their time, and they wanted to protect Kai from the dangers they had faced. They spoke of hidden perils, of unseen threats, of choices that could lead to ruin. Kai heeded their warnings, grateful for their guidance. He knew that their wisdom was born of experience, and he trusted their counsel. He learned their secrets, felt their joys and sorrows. The spirits shared their deepest truths with him, revealing the hidden facets of their lives. Kai felt their emotions as if they were his own, their joys lifting his spirits, their sorrows weighing heavy on his heart. He became a vessel for their stories, a keeper of their memories. He became a conduit between the world of the living and the realm of the departed. Kai walked the line between two worlds, his gift allowing him to bridge the gap. He brought messages from the dead to the living, offering comfort and closure to those left behind. He helped the living understand the dead, and the dead find peace in the knowledge that they were not forgotten. Kai didn't understand why he had this gift. It was a mystery that had puzzled him for as long as he could remember. He often wondered why he had been chosen, what purpose his gift served. But despite his questions, he knew that his ability was a part of him, a part of his destiny. He accepted it, even if he didn't fully understand it. But he knew he had to use it for good. Kai felt a deep sense of responsibility, a calling to use his gift to help others. He wanted to bring peace to the restless spirits, to offer comfort to the grieving, to make a difference in the world. He resolved to use his ability to make the world a better place, one whisper at a time. He owed it to the silent voices that surrounded him. The spirits had given him so much, their stories enriching his life in ways he could never have imagined. He felt a deep gratitude towards them, a desire to honor their memories. He knew that by helping them, he was also helping himself, finding his own sense of purpose and fulfillment. He owed it to himself. Kai knew that his gift was a part of who he was, a part of his identity. By embracing it, he was embracing his true self. He felt a sense of pride in his ability, a confidence that came from knowing he was making a difference. He looked to the future with hope, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, guided by the whispers of the past. Word spread through his town. A boy could talk to the dead. People were skeptical at first, then desperate. They came to Kai with pleas. They wanted to hear from lost loved ones, to find closure. A grieving widow asked about her husband's last words. A heartbroken mother sought solace from her stillborn child. Kai listened to the whispers. He delivered their messages with empathy and grace. He saw relief on their faces. He saw gratitude in their tears. Each encounter strengthened his resolve. He was a bridge between two worlds. His purpose was to ease their pain, to offer solace. Kai's gift wasn't without its burdens. The dead weren't always peaceful. Some clung to anger and regret. Their whispers turned to screams in his mind. He saw their past traumas, felt their lingering pain. He learned to navigate these troubled waters. He calmed their tormented souls. He helped them find peace in the afterlife. But each encounter left him drained, haunted by their echoes. It was a price he was willing to pay. Their peace was his reward. Their silence was his victory. He was their shepherd, guiding them towards the light. One night, a new presence entered the cemetery. The moon hung low in the sky, casting an eerie glow over the tombstones. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. It was a night like any other, or so it seemed. A chill cut through the familiar peace. The whispers ceased. An unnatural silence descended. The wind, which had been gently rustling the leaves, suddenly stopped. It was as if the entire cemetery was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. Kai felt a tremor of fear. This was something different. He had spent countless nights in the cemetery, finding solace among the graves. But tonight, the air was charged with a different kind of energy. It was as if the very ground beneath his feet was alive with anticipation. A figure materialized from the shadows. It moved with a fluid grace, almost as if it was gliding over the ground. The shadows seemed to cling to it, wrapping around its form like a shroud. Tall and skeletal, draped in dark robes. The figure was an imposing sight, its presence commanding attention. It seemed to absorb the light around it, making the darkness even more profound. Its eyes glowed with an eerie green light. They pierced through the darkness, locking onto Kai with an intensity that made his heart race. It was as if the figure could see into his very soul. The air crackled with unseen energy. It was a palpable force, making the hairs on the back of Kai's neck stand on end. He could feel the power radiating from the figure, a power that was both mesmerizing and terrifying. This was not a lost soul seeking solace. Kai had encountered many spirits in the cemetery, souls who were looking for peace or closure. But this figure was different. It exuded a malevolence that was impossible to ignore. This was something far more sinister. The figure's presence was a dark stain on the otherwise peaceful cemetery. It was as if the very essence of the place was being corrupted by its mere existence. "You," the figure rasped, its voice like dry leaves scraping against stone. The sound sent a shiver down Kai's spine. It was a voice that spoke of ancient things, of secrets buried deep within the earth. "You have disturbed the balance." The figure's words hung in the air, heavy with accusation. Kai felt a pang of guilt, though he didn't know why. He had always respected the cemetery, treating it as a sanctuary. But now it seemed he had crossed a line. Kai stood tall, a flicker of defiance in his eyes. He wouldn't be intimidated, not in his haven, not amongst his whispers. He took a deep breath, steeling himself against the fear that threatened to overwhelm him. This was his place, and he would not be driven away so easily. The figure's eyes narrowed, and for a moment Kai thought he saw a flicker of surprise, but it was gone as quickly as it had appeared, replaced by a cold, calculating gaze. The figure took a step forward, and Kai braced himself for what was to come. He didn't know what the figure wanted, but he knew he had to stand his ground. The cemetery was his home, and he would protect it at all costs. "Who are you?" Kai demanded, his voice firm despite the tremor in his chest. "What do you want?" The figure chuckled, a dry, humorless sound. "They call me the Necromancer," it hissed. "And you are a thief." "I steal nothing," Kai retorted. "I offer peace." The Necromancer stepped closer. "You steal the souls I crave," it hissed. "Their energy, their power, it is mine to command." "The dead deserve peace," Kai stated, his voice unwavering. "Not to be enslaved by your dark magic." The Necromancer's eyes blazed. "Then you will die with them." The air crackled with anticipation. A battle was coming. Kai drew his sword, the blade gleaming under the pale moonlight. He could feel the weight of the moment pressing down on him, but he stood tall. ready to face whatever came next. The necromancer raised his hands, summoning dark energy that swirled around him like a living shadow. The air grew colder, and the ground beneath them seemed to tremble. For a moment they stood in silence, the tension between them palpable. Kai's heart pounded in his chest, but he refused to show any sign of fear. With a shout, Kai charged forward, his sword aimed at the necromancer. The dark figure responded with a wave of his hand, sending a blast of dark energy towards Kai. Kai dodged the attack, rolling to the side and coming up on one knee. He could feel the heat of the dark energy as it passed by him, narrowly missing its mark. He sprang back to his feet and counterattacked, his sword slicing through the air with precision. The necromancer blocked the strike with a shield of dark energy, the clash of forces sending sparks flying. The battle raged on, each combatant giving their all. Kai's movements were swift and calculated, while the necromancer's attacks were relentless and powerful. Kai saw an opening and took it, his sword finding its mark and striking the necromancer's side. The dark figure let out a howl of pain, but quickly retaliated with a surge of dark energy. The force of the attack pushed Kai back, but he dug his heels in and held his ground. He could feel the strain on his body, but he knew he couldn't give up now. The two combatants were locked in a fierce struggle, neither willing to back down. The graveyard around them seemed to come alive with the energy of their battle, the very air crackling with power. Kai dug deep within himself, drawing on every ounce of strength and determination he had. He knew that this battle was about more than just his own survival. It was about protecting the souls of the dead and ensuring they found peace. With a final, powerful strike, Kai delivered a blow that sent the necromancer reeling. The dark figure stumbled back, the dark energy around him dissipating. Kai stood victorious, his chest heaving with exertion. The necromancer lay defeated at his feet, the threat to the souls of the dead finally vanquished. The graveyard returned to its peaceful state, the air no longer crackling with dark energy. Kai sheathed his sword and took a deep breath, feeling a sense of calm wash over him. As he walked away from the graveyard, Kai knew that his fight was far from over. But for now, he had won a crucial battle, and the souls of the dead could rest in peace. With a determined look in his eyes, Kai vowed to continue his quest to protect the innocent and bring peace to the land. The whispers of war may never truly fade, but as long as he drew breath, he would fight for what was right. And so, with the first light of dawn breaking over the horizon, Kai set off on his journey once more, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead.